40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Night I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation.
We're finally here. It is time to go racing for round number 4 of the GoSquadra Formula Super Series. Here it is Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, I believe for the first time in channel history. And how exciting to have the GoSquadra Formula Super Series here north of the border in North America. Welcome into tonight's coverage of the We Are Gemini Grand Prix of Canada. My name is Tommy Cook. I'm here as always. We'll hope to have Jeff Mathis back here in a couple of weeks, but we've got a very special guest here this evening. He is a many time feature winner here on the channel, including twice for the GoSquadra Formula Super Series. Gavin Sanders, longtime caller, first-time broadcaster. Welcome into the booth, partner.
I'm glad to be here. I'm big shoes to fill with Jeff, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting race tonight. I'm absolutely certain. It's never mind first time at the racetrack, but first time with a whole new era of I guess Super Formula racing with the introduction of a wet tire. So that should be interesting. I'll let you jump right in on that.
Well, let's take a look at the points first, because there's a lot to chew on with that new update that we may see in action here very quickly. Taking a look at the points, the left side of this graphic especially, I mean, it exploded a couple of weeks ago at Portland. Joao de Gregorio was third in the standings in quite a deep hole. Now he expands this lead, or it takes the lead rather, and expands it to 15 markers over his teammate Thiago Spencer. I mean, big point total gap there. Sarah Guerra still hanging on to the 40 Racewear Top AM honors currently. I mean, you've driven with the drivers on the left side of this graphic for the most part. I think all of them anyway. I mean, does that really shock you at this point in the season to see where everything is sort of shaken out?
Not particularly, no. I think the top 5 definitely on the left side of the graphic are all extremely competitive. I would call them rapid in this car. By and large, it's it kind of just depends on where you end up in the sprint race and how your feature pans out. And I'm sure we'll see the standings kind of jumping week to week. The gaps are very close, and there's just so many variables. So and in the AM Championship as well, it's a matter of not only staying out of trouble, but ensuring that you get as many points as you can. And we'll see huge swings in that because just with the overall points where all the AMs end up, kind of it dictates massive jumps in the championship. If you can pull a massive race out of the bag, you'll jump many spots in that point standings as well. So,
and that's the thing. Trouble this season has not been very hard to come by, and they've come by it honestly on the slick tires because up until this week that wasn't really an option. But as you mentioned, and we saw it if you were looking on our graphic here, 69% how fitting, a chance of rain. And the new update has brought rain tires to quite a few of the cars that we showcase here on the channel. There's a chance we may see them in the Daredevil series later this season, but directly could very well impact the We Are Gemini Grand Prix of Canada here tonight.
Yeah, it wouldn't be shocking at all for a Canadian Grand Prix to be rain affected, but in this car, I would say that that as a variable is very tricky, just considering the fact of how difficult this car is to drive in the dry. Never mind with this circuit and the difficulties over the curbs and how low grip it can be in some places. If it does rain at all, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of drivers struggling. I myself did not even bother to test it out yet, and I'm sure some of the guys in here maybe gave it a couple of laps, but I can only imagine it's going to be pretty treacherous. So we'll keep an eye on the weather as well tonight, and that'll be a whole new thing. So.
Yeah, I tested out the IR-18 at Portland in the wet. That was a lot of fun. I took the Lotus 79 on the tour in the wet. Had a great time. But sometimes driving this car, it honestly feels like you're in the slick. I mean, this thing, depending on where you are and what the track conditions are, you just have no traction in it to begin with. So putting the slick tires on there might, I don't know, they might do it in the dry, honestly.
Yeah, it would be a bold strategy, but I definitely agree. The wheel spin in this car is just pretty atrocious, and it takes a very specific driving style. It's a car designed for to kind of mimic, I would say, it kind of fits in the gap between the IR-18 and your modern-day Formula One car. So rather difficult, but as everybody in F1 manages to kind of make it through rain races when they're not behind the safety car. I'm sure our guys will guys and girls will be able to make it through no problem at all. So,
well, we'll see if they stuck some groundhogs in on this update here for the Formula Super Series as well here tonight. Speaking of driving styles, Portland a couple of weeks ago fit right into Michael Costello's driving style, as he had provisional pole until just now. Thiago Spencer across the line will snag it from him with a 119 flat. And that is a ripping lap for Thiago, but not quick enough, as now it is Joao de Gregorio who will go to the top of the timing charts here. And not a surprise at all to see Joao up here. Some extra money up for grabs from Jeff Mathis, who's hanging out with in the chat with us since he's not here in the booth with us. Hello, hello. Hello to Matt Short, and hello to Bilome Chiridon Serguera. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Yeah, that is sort of the scene of things right now. Looks like we've got about 31 drivers, and 27 of them have a time on the board right now. We'll go in search of a couple of drivers, as that is Caustic Solwij, who was all out of shape there out of the final turn. But I don't think, actually turned the 7th quickest lap there across the stripe. I always forget where the start-finish line actually is here at this circuit. I know this is a Canadian Grand Prix, but I think you're about as close to Montreal as I am to Austin, Texas, so maybe a little bit disingenuous to call it a home track for you. Regardless, this is a great circuit. I absolutely love the island here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
Yeah, I mean, from a visual standpoint, it's one of the most gorgeous tracks, I would say, on the planet. And just from a driving point of view as well, it's very flowing, lots of different chicanes. I love the fact that there's like 4 chicanes on this circuit, but no 2 are alike. It just kind of keeps you on your toes, and it would be really cool to see some more race series visit this track more than one time a year. I feel like it's only put into race mode, you could say, for just the F1 weekend, which obviously was this past weekend. But during the rest of the year, it doubles as public roads, and people love to go biking on it. So at least they found a secondary purpose for it. But it would be really cool to maybe see a NASCAR event poke its way up if they decide to sacrifice another one of those short oval dates. Womp womp. But yeah, that would be pretty spectacular to kind of see them make that happen once again. Maybe the Cup cars this time.
Yeah, I'm definitely putting all my energy towards that happening. Of course, with all the sway that I have, we might see one by 2050. Yes, thank you. That is not an L. That is 2 I's. So that is biome. Thank you. And I know what a biome is. I'm not a total dummy, so I probably should have seen that one, because that does make me a total dummy. But regardless, thanks for hanging out with us in the chat. Only one driver out on track right now, and the qualifying run is already over for Drew Such. So Such just getting some extra laps in. Peter Donchak also out on track, one of the drivers repping the 4D Racewear AM class here this evening. And, oh, that is a spin for Peter. Not the TV time he wanted, but TV time nonetheless. We do want to thank the folks that were helping make this possible here tonight. Thank you to Gemini. At Gemini, we thrive on helping your business grow. Offering 10-plus years of experience working in the AEC business in the United States, assisting architecture studios with production and development of BIM standards, 3D models, and documentation. Our team of resourceful, reliable, and detail-oriented architects is ready to work side by side with you as if it were an in-house effort. Entrust production to us, either partially or totally, and give your full attention to designing, developing ideas, and most importantly, keeping your clients happy. Visit wearegemini.com, and thank you very much for providing the support tonight for the We Are Gemini Grand Prix of Canada, and absolutely stellar track selection on top of that. We got about 10 seconds left to go. Nobody is going to challenge Joao de Gregorio for the top spot here this evening on the timing chart, so he's got a little extra moolah coming his way, USD, as he will snag the pole here this evening for the sprint race with a 118.92. A stellar lap for your current series points leader. The Season 1 champion will lead the field to the green flag with his teammate Thiago Spencer on the front row with him. Tristan Moss and Caustic Solweij with a great effort starting in 4th. Michael Costello and Matt Mitchum is in the lineup here tonight. He will start in 6th. Titus Sherlock, Tanner DeFabis on row number 4. Kevin Bonomi and Christian Jasper, your top 5 rows on the starting grid. Jeff Groff and Zachary Smith, top AM in the lineup, I do believe, starting in 12th. It is Jeremy Carter and Jeff Lawler on row number 7. Felipe Sarkis and Sarah Guerra starting at 16th through Such. Dakota DeMade in 18th. Nate Siefker and Zach Flaum, the boss man, rounding out the top 20 starters. Here is the rest of the starting lineup. 31 will hopefully take to the grid here momentarily. It's a short run here to turn number 1 and a pretty short race to open things up. What is your mindset heading into a short sprint to open things up?
I mean, you got to get down to that first turn safely and quickly as possible. I mean, even if you get a better start from the guys behind the leaders, it's going to be tough to make a move. It's very tight, so any sort of lunge into the first corner could shake things up pretty significantly. But making sure you get to that inside and cover off for turn 2 and power out from there will be pretty critical, I'd say. But in a short race like this, it's all going to come down to lap 1, I would think. So.
It's always the first turns named after Ayrton Senna that will provide the first lap contact, no doubt about it. Something, gap not existing, or whatever. Got about 15 seconds left for our last couple of holdouts. Looking at you, Nate Siefker, to hit this starting grid. always got to be Nate.
Always.
Here we go. Lights are coming on here in Montreal at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. The sprint for round number 4 of the season. Joao de Gregorio and Thiago Spencer are on the dash to turn number 1.
Great start from Thiago. Tristan looks around the outside here.
Oh, Costello getting his elbows out early as there's problems further back. A couple of drivers locked together. Jeff Lawler, Christian Jasper. Big time problems for those two. Their sprints very well may be over. Jasper with a great starting spot. It's all for naught. Spencer, like you mentioned, great start. Great start for Tristan Moss as well, riding in second. Pole sitter Joao de Gregorio is back to third as Matt Mitchum, in his first appearance, has had a problem. He is around, and he is going to let the whole field go by. Now he will tow back to the pit, so that is his sprint over more than likely. Top AM as they are. Zachary Smith back in 11th. Positions ahead of Sarah Guerra right now. We're headed down the casino straight. Spencer with Moss in tow. We'll take a look at the lap 1 incidents here momentarily. As De Gregorio finds himself 1 second behind here early in the going. A little bit different from the IndyCar to the Super Formula here in terms of the overtake button. You have unlimited usage time of it, but a cool-down period in between. If you're somebody as... we got Kevin Bonomi stopped on the front straightaway. If you're somebody that is finding yourself a little deep here early, do you go straight to that button, or are you waiting for a couple more laps to see how things shake out?
It kind of depends. I think the warm-up period with the tires as well could deeply hurt you if you're not super careful through the acceleration zones with the button on. It could just slip away from you really quickly. So we'll most likely see most of these guys, unless there's a very tight battle, they'll save it for the end of the race, I would think, and just run the last few laps out sitting on the button and taking full advantage of the extra horsepower.
Moss drawing nearer here and the final sector of the course is his best passing opportunity here into the final turn. Or is he waiting to set up a pass for somewhere else here down the line?
Yeah, I think turn 1's one of the most open parts of the track to get a move done, and you could kind of surprise the leader into one of the other chicanes around the circuit, but this last corner is going to be extremely difficult as he goes for it and makes the move stick. Oh, very rough over the curbs.
Nearly 3 wide there. That is risky business. Thiago Spencer was under fire, but he manages to come away with it. Still in second, Joao de Gregorio in third. That was a lot for the same order that they came out of the final turn.
A difficult way to get back to square one, but
yes.
Thiago managed to grab a couple extra tenths out of that, so I'm sure he's thinking that was a decent exchange.
Wait to see if these gaps can expand a little bit before we go on to the replay train here. Just about 5 minutes to the first race of the night. 15-minute sprint.
And interesting here, Tristan is once again all over the buttons. We might see another move down into the hairpin here.
iRacing just decided to freeze there for a hot second, but we're back now as Tristan Moss is all out of shape there.
And that's the penalty of sitting on the button while the tires are still cold, and I think he's going to go into the cool down mode here now that he's seen Thiago kind of neutralize that gap, and him having to spin up his rear tires as a result of that.
Those final couple of turns are really fun, but boy, do they demand perfection if you don't want to either go flying or just crash in general.
It's not called the Wall of Champions for no reason, that's for sure.
Michael Costello is nearing this battle now, so we've got the top 4 basically in train, and don't look behind. Titus Sherlock is now into the top 5 ahead of Kostik Silvage.
Yeah, could see a nice little charge here from Titus into the battle for second, third place between Tristan and Joao, but we'll keep our eyes peeled. Who's on the button and who's not. It's going to be a short sprint here. So
let's quickly take a look back at what happened to Christian Jasper. Nearly hit from behind and then got sideswiped there. Matt Schlosser got a piece of that as well, but that is Lawler and Jasper's race over. As we head back to the live action, Joao looking around on Moss rather for second, and he gets the pass done. Lots of curving there, and again he's going to pay the price here as Moss and Costello are fanning out wide. 3 wide into turn 1 again.
Oh, a little bit of contact. Oh, and Moss with the wheel off there. That's super unfortunate. It looked like a little bit of netcode potentially as well.
And he does not bring it back onto the track. He is stopped there in the runoff, and he is going to tow back. So it looks like he's missing his left front tire. Meanwhile, Gregorio is having to go on massive defense here with teammates hounding him for second. The long way around. Costello is through to P2. Sherlock and Solwij are all right here as well. Joao is in trouble as they're nearly 3 wide again.
Looks like Titus lost his front wing there coming out of the secondary chicane.
So damage, plenty of it to go around here for some of the front runners. Moss is out. Sherlock without a front wing, undeterred, still trying to search around. I mean, you talk about a car that already is right on the knife's edge of the balance. What does losing the front wing do to this and your ability to actually maneuver this vehicle?
I mean, Titus seems to be negotiating it not so badly so far. He's definitely going to have a massive straightaway advantage. I don't know if he's going to be able to make any maneuvers with that, but definitely throws off the front balance. It just feels like the front tires are lifted up in the air, just with how many pounds of downforce come off of the front axle. So, and looks like he's actually under pressure here back from Caustic, and he'll make the move for 4th.
Caustic is through, so Sherlock now back to 5th. Costello in 2nd. With all that happening, it's let Thiago Spencer get away to the tune of about 4 seconds as Costello scrapes the wall, as does De Gregorio. I'll look for our top AM at the moment. I believe it's still Zachary Smith, and he's got about 5 seconds back to Cody Claiborne now, who was inside the top 10.
Yeah, that's the thing about the AM Championship. If you can gain a bunch of spots off the start and kind of neutralize the guys behind, there's plenty of cars from the pro field as well that get mixed up in the front running part of the AM class. So big advantage for Zach Smith here, just based off of simply getting a good start and building that track position.
This is tied to Sherlock now under fire. Missing that front wing, Jeff Groff is going to be the one to try and move himself up into the top 5. Titus has been nothing this season, if not unlucky. I would put that one in that category as well.
Very slow through the chicane here. It's going to give Jeremy Carter a good run on both these guys.
So Carter will have a little looky-loo here into the turn.
Wow.
Sherlock having to get his elbows out here.
And it's just so difficult. I mean, Titus is doing everything he can here. He's got the button pressed, and he's just hoping that he can survive at least a little bit until the tighter parts of the track come around. He can defend his position a little bit better, but just really nothing he can do right now. Just no front downforce.
The good news for him is he's gotten about 4 seconds back on the road to Tanner DeFavis. Will be the next one up to challenge. He's sure not letting Jeremy Carter have this spot. This is the battle for 6th.
Both these guys on the cool down now, so it'll just be a heads-up fight for the next minute or so.
Take a look at a couple things that we missed. This is Felipe Sarkis in his debut here this evening. And into, well, oh my goodness. I think that was Drew Such that ramped up over him into the pits. So heads up to the crews. You've got a car flying at you.
not too dissimilar to IndyCar last night.
Yeah, no kidding. And one more look at the Tristan Moss incident here. This is where Titus Sherlock will pick up his. And that is draw out into the grass. A little bit better for him than Lando. And that's a total left front detachment there for Tristan Moss. On the contact there, getting the rocket around the draw.
Yeah, just tough to end up with that, turning in for that apex 3 wide. You don't know where the car is around the outside, and you're trying to defend your position, get to the inside for turn 2, and just a little bit of an early turn in, and weak left front, I would call it. Not super generous from iRacing on that one, but that's a bit of a bummer. He had really good pace to start the race. So.
That's a problem for Sarah Guerra. That will cost Sarah a couple of spots as we'll come back out to the live action now. Michael Costello has been reeled in by Shadi Gregorio. Matt Short says noted by race control for an illegal pit entry. I think that one will be sustained. About 0.4 of a second between these two. Tanner DeFabis caught Titus Sherlock in a hurry, so we'll jump back to this battle for seventh rather. Seven seconds back from DeFabis. And Sherlock now to Cody Claiborne as something has happened to Zachary Smith, and we've completely missed it. Smith was top am, now it is Cody Claiborne, and here's Smith into turn number 2. Oh, and caught left side curbing hard, and that pitches him, keeps it out of the barrier, but that will cost him currently the spot for top am.
That's unlucky. It's just all about precision here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. So.
Costello now as quickly as Di Gregorio caught him. He's spaced him back out. Second, third, and fourth equidistant for one another. Good run for Kostek here. Good qualifying effort. Started fourth, running fourth. Was showing glimpses of this pace at Portland a couple of weeks ago. Didn't quite get the finish to go with it, but ran in the podium places for most of that feature. But, doing a good job here in the top 5 once again.
Yeah, impressive on that last lap to put down a 19.4. He's right in line. I mean, he pulled almost 6/10 on Joao that lap, and probably 3 or 4 tenths on Costello. So he's right in the mix. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of a fight if he was able to manage the overtake well. We'll see as it comes down to it.
And not only was that fast, but it was the fastest lap of the sprint thus far, with 2 minutes left to go. Not sure if the purple lap gets you anything in the sprint, but it makes you feel good.
Most definitely.
So Cody Claiborne top am right now, running in 9th. We're back with Dakota DeMaid and Nate Siefker as they fight for a spot in the top 10. This is for 10th, and Siefker making a dive on DeMaid, and he has got the spot. So Siefker plus 9. Claiborne, the big mover of the race right now, plus 15 in his quest for top am of the sprint to follow up his top am at Portland a couple weeks ago.
And just staying out of trouble as expected, I would say. With Cody, is just simply put all the laps together and run the race. And once you get a little bit of clear like he's in, makes it a heck of a lot easier just to maintain and manage. And I mean, he's pulled out roughly 8 seconds on Zach Smith already. So I think it's going to be, as long as there are no other issues, commentator's curse, of course, but looking good so far.
Well, with a lap and a half to go, Michael Costello took all of the curbing into the center corner and just about lost it, but what he did lose was second. Joao is up to P2 now. Tiago Spencer is just a little bit over a lap away from a sprint victory here. Di Gregorio now will be scrapping with Costello to hang on to second, and Kostek, should it all go wrong, is close enough to capitalize.
Yeah, and oh,
whoa, Costello
my goodness.
is long! And that puts Kostek onto the podium. Costello lucky not to bury that car.
and he's still got the button here, so it should be a pretty interesting run down. Both these guys are on the button, and he's going to defend to the inside. Going to be very entertaining here into the final chicane.
Wheel to wheel. Kostek prevails, 1 lap to go. Just had a problem with Sarah Guerra and Kyle Allen as well. We'll take a look at those here in just a moment after the drop of the checkers. The time permitting anyway. Eventually they cut us off from the replays at some point. Kostek on his horse is driving away. Costello's giving it everything he's got.
Looks like he might have just ran out of overtake there. I might have seen the red flashing light letting us know that he's bone dry on the button.
4 seconds up the road from his teammate Joao de Gregorio. It's the front row lockout switcheroo. One more set of turns to navigate for Thiago Spencer to try and take the sprint victory here. Perfectly executed to the checkered flag. Thiago Spencer wins the sprint at the We Are Gemini Grand Prix of Canada here at Circuit Villeneuve. Joao de Gregorio in second, Kostek Solwij in third. Michael Costello, Jeff Groff looking to be the top 5. And Cody Claiborne, a couple more turns to make it official for his top AM honors here in the sprint race. And Claiborne will get it done. Here's what happened to Sarah Guerra. Just under braking, lost it there. May have been a product of spinning a couple laps before that as well, still with the hot tires. There's a problem for Kyle Allen. Yeah, that wasn't much of anything, just a lock up there into the braking zone. Not sure why they felt the need to record that. This is Michael Costello. Let's see if we have the time to do this. Oh, just, I mean, 3 or 4 car lengths deeper into that braking zone, and that is not really one that you can run very long on. It's one of the lower speed corners of the circuit. And, he paid for it with the 3rd position there to Kostek Solwij. And that will send us into the warm-up. It is looking awfully damp. We'll assess the track conditions and hopefully have a word with Thiago Spencer on the other side of the mid-roll break here on turn 200 for the GoSquadra Formula Super Series.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
Turn 200's coverage of the GoSquadra Formula Super Series is presented by 4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel, designed for sim racing by sim racers. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the original racing gloves for your feet. And by GoSquadra. GoSquadra's mission is to enhance race team management across all sim racing platforms. Coming soon to GoSquadra.com. We are back to live coverage here at Circuit Villeneuve, and after 15 minutes, it is Thiago Spencer who is on the top step of the sprint race here at Montreal. Welcome back to the booth, and congratulations on the sprint victory.
Hey, how's it going, Tommy? Good evening, good night for everyone. It was a good race. I mean, I had 2 big mistakes on the last lap of the quali, and I managed still to start on second, and I did a great start. And a little fight with Tristan Moss, I think, and I managed to overtake him again as well. And so a bit nervous for the second race because too many cars on track, and this track is really small and it's narrow. And let's see what happens.
Gavin, do you have anything?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
hey, how's it going? A really impressive start. Do you think you can replicate that in the feature? Make a couple spots right up off of the line from P10 in the feature race?
Yeah, I mean, the first race is always the easiest race to do that. The second one is it's complicated because when we start from the back, people usually in front start a little bit slower, and they can snap to the right, to the left, and it's a little bit. I need to pay more attention to where I'm going, and I believe I'm gonna try the same thing there.
Awesome. Well,
go ahead.
sorry. No, go ahead.
Well, do you have anybody you want to shout out or thank here before we let you go?
I always need to thank my wife, because without her, I won't be able to be here. I have 2 daughters, and she's taking care of them. So thank you. That's it.
Well, best of luck here ahead of the feature here this evening, and we'll hope to talk to you again at the end of it.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Almost force of habit. I just about dragged you out of the booth. But you get to stay. Lucky you, ahead of the feature. Now, your official assessment here, and looking at it a bit carefully, have to agree. The track is dry. It kind of looks gross. You have the luxury of being able to look at the fancy radar tool, though, that iRacing provides. I can't without exposing the industry secrets here. So
Right.
what are the thoughts maybe about the chances of some inclement weather here coming up here for the feature?
Looks like a goose egg. Kind of unfortunately, I was a little bit excited to see if we would get maybe a little bit of drama, some excitement, a little sprinkle here and there, but just, I guess you said, looks gross. Very, very hazy. Maybe a little bit of a change to the humidity level, and we'll see maybe a little bit of difference in tire strategy. Obviously, you don't pit in the sprint race, but if the weather's that much different in the feature, it might push some tire wear a little further back into the stint. So unfortunately, though, no wet weather tires. I definitely can assess as the weatherman tonight.
Well, that's good. Congrats on the degree in meteorology. But I believe the plan is this season, correct me if I'm wrong, to just leave the chances of rain up to the sim, and we'll go from there, kind of. Is that sort of the plan?
As far as I'm aware, yes. There's not going to be any manufactured weather cells headed towards us at any time, so that'll keep it a little bit more under control for everybody.
Well, control is something that we're going to be lacking here for the feature coming up for this here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Goodness gracious, I'm speaking French all of a sudden. Nate Siefker and Cody Claiborne on the front row. Titus Sherlock, Tanner DeFabius, row 2. Jeremy Carter, Jeff Croft, row 3. Michael Costello, Caustic Solwij, Joao de Gregorio, and Thiago Spencer complete the invert here for the front 5 rows to go to Demade Match. Schlosser on row 6, Zachary Smith, Christian Jasper on row 7, Brian Labarge, Kyle Allen, Sarah Guerra, Felipe Sarkis, Sebron Stoll, and Justin Knoll, the top 20 starters. Hopefully we'll get all 31 back on the grid here. We've got about 29 of them currently out on the track and ready to go.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see Cody Claiborne, top AM, starting on the front row for the invert.
I mean, Cody's been in this position before. Just because he's at the top AM, he doesn't feel any extra pressure. He will be up for the task, I'm sure. But we're about to find out who will join him. Green flag is out. Not a great start there from Claiborne. He has dropped like a rock as Siefker leads the bunch through the first couple of turns. Claiborne back to P6 through the opening stretch of turns. Titus Sherlock in second. Tanner DeFabius, Jeremy Carter, Michael Costello, the top 5. Thiago Spencer holding serve in 10th. Joao de Gregorio has made up a couple of positions already as he's under fire now. Or rather, he is giving chase to Cody Claiborne and is going to try and take that spot away, and he will. Move him up to 6th. Couple of moves being made here. This is Claiborne under fire from Caustic. Up the road, Jeremy Carter getting moved on by Michael Costello. And Costello will slip right underneath and take the 4th spot. Caustic moving ahead on Cody Claiborne. And now for
pass
the lead
into the chicane.
Sherlock takes it over from Nate Siefker. DeFabus is right here, top 3, less than a car length separated. Siefker had a look there, lots of curbing, keeps the car underneath of him. As Titus Sherlock is on point here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Pretty clean opening lap, all things considered. I think a couple of problems, but nothing too crazy. Maybe we did have one big dust up towards the back of the pack. We'll take a look at it here in just a second as DeFabus is trying to find a way through on Nate Siefker for 2nd. Watching Titus Sherlock drive away. He's already 1 second up the road. And DeFabus up to 2nd.
And just as DeFabus gets by Siefker, now Siefker's got another Eclipse car in the form of Michael Costello right behind him as he looks to the inside into the hairpin.
Costello not messing around, making big time moves, already up 4 to 3rd. Or he very well could have finished that sprint. Looks like we had a problem with Zach Flaum. Oh, and God, they're already stacked up in front of him. That's a total track blocker. That was Tommy Reval, Brian Labarge, and Cody Claiborne just had a problem in real time as well. We'll take a look at that here in just a second. Oh, one driver breaking into the grass there, into the right-hand hairpin, and goes bowling.com or .ca, I guess. Oh, is another problem. This time it was Michael Costello off into the grass, and now Nate Siefker is going to try and take the 3rd position back. I think Costello is going to stay ahead for now. Behind them, Joao de Gregorio is closing quickly as well. So this is why I don't like to take replays early in the race, because we're missing all the good stuff here at the front of the field. All right, we'll try this one more time. Cody Claiborne. That's Jeremy Carter behind. Oh, they're 3 wide, and that is some net code with Matt Schlosser there.
We almost had to just bail out of it there. I ended up in the pit lane, unfortunately.
So we'll come back now as it is De Gregorio on the charge and Siefker under fire for 4th. And De Gregorio on a great pace. The bad news for him is he moves up to 4th now. As Titus Sherlock is nearly 4 seconds ahead as they run. Is there such thing as an insurmountable lead with 35 minutes of racing in front of you?
I wouldn't quite say that, but with all the strategy that'll have to play out and potentially the advent for us of some lap traffic, I'm sure nothing is up to, nothing is for certain at this point in the race.
A little contact there between Kostek and Jeremy Carter. That was left rear of Kostek into the front wing of Carter. Kostek is up to 6th now, Carter back to 7th.
Yeah, just a little bit of nose damage there for Carter, so we'll have to see how that plays out and if he can maintain position as the race goes on.
Well, Tiago Spencer was worried earlier about navigating lap traffic at the front of this field. He has not really gone anywhere. He started in 10th. He is running in 10th currently, just having to go on Tristan Moss to try and move up to 9th. But we're going to shift back to the front of the field here as DeFabus has not let Titus Sherlock get away. In fact, he has caught him to about a car length.
It should be interesting here. These guys are not being extremely conservative with their push or the overtake. Pardon me. So we'll kind of have to see. Maybe somebody like Tiago could reappear later in the race, as potentially he's saving right now, just knowing that he's going to get stuck behind people anyway.
And again, one required pit stop after 10 completed laps. The pits will open. You're required to take a set of tires. You cannot refuel these cars, so you don't have to worry about that.
And tire wear shouldn't be too much of an issue tonight. I think just making sure that you have the tires in the right window for that last part of the race where the fuel is light and the cars are the most agile, I'd say, is most critical to having your pace up. I wouldn't say you want to take that pit stop too late, but too early also, and you might run into a little bit of problems with the rear tires as well.
Somewhat hectic start to this race. Miss Garrett Rainey hanging out in the chat with us. Hello to the Rain Man himself. Boy, look at this mess. Jeff Groff, Tristan Moss, Tiago Spencer all right here together, 8th, 9th, and 10th. And Jeremy Carter not too far ahead with the front wing damage for driver 24. But Groff right now, hard to look ahead when you've got two drivers mirroring you just a few feet behind you, really.
Yeah, especially two drivers who are definitely not hanging around in Tristan Moss and Tiago.
Moss is through. So move Tristan up to 8th. I mean, you talk about a motivated driver after getting run off the road there in the sprint race. Lost that left front tire, already up 15 spots. He has blitzed his way through this field.
Yeah, that's mighty impressive.
So it'll be Groff now under fire from Spencer.
Makes that one nice and easy there, and put him back up a spot, and he's going to have to hunt back down Tristan Moss now as they approach the final chicane of this lap.
Joao Gregorio is on the move as well. He just passed Michael Costello for 3rd. Last lap for Di Gregorio, purple lap, 1995. What a great year. Honestly, not too much faster than what DeFamous is running right now, as he is caught right back up to Titus Sherlock. That gap built up a little bit, but is closed once again to just about 3/10.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We've seen a lot of the battling tonight with just how many chicanes there are. Really cost the 2 or 3 parties involved a lot of time, so it'll be interesting to see if these guys are able to just wait it out and kind of follow in line, or if they feel the need to start fighting as Joao inches closer.
We just had a problem with Tristan Moss and Tiago Spencer, and they have towed back to the pits. What has happened to these two?
Oh, and Tiago's car is absolutely destroyed, same as Tristan's.
Wow. Tiago, I mean, okay, we're going to take one more look at this here from a little bit closer of an angle. Looks like Tiago overshoots the braking zone there into the final turn. Rear ends Tristan Moss. That sends him up over the barriers, puts him into the wall of champions. He comes straight back across the track with no tires attached. And Spencer ramps up over him, and that is race over for your sprint winner and one of the fastest drivers on the track. That is shocking.
That's something. I mean, we saw he was on the overtake into that chicane trying to make something happen, and just a unfortunate misjudgment there for both parties, and Tiago ends up upside down to cap that off. That's very, very unfortunate, and not an error you see very often.
Well, try to show a replay of it. Here we go. Oh, and he just barely got there as well. From that angle, it doesn't actually look like they made contact. Maybe Moss just psyched himself out there a little bit. Not sure, though. The overhead camera tells a different story. Either way, disastrous result for both of them. As now for the lead, all of a sudden, Tanner DeFavis, he's been fast, and now he's on point. Pass down the casino straightaway, puts driver 9 back on point. Yeah, lots of new guarded crashes tonight. All out of the same corner.
Interesting here. It'll be good to see if Tanner can pull away a bit, because Joao keeps pulling that gap to the front two in by probably 2 or 3 tenths a lap as we take them off here.
Yeah, De Gregorio and DeFavis are running very similar lap times. It's just been Sherlock that's sort of, I don't know, maybe intentionally backing up to them a little bit. I mean, it'd be surprising to me that Sherlock on heads-up pace would be 6 tenths off for the last 3 laps.
Yeah, very doubtful. There's got to be something at play here.
You know, usually we don't have to see tricks being pulled out of the sleeves of Titus Sherlock because he's just got the field covered on pace alone. Maybe we'll see a little Titus trickery here. Top AM currently, I believe, is Zachary Smith in 12th. Smith with a few seconds back to Kyle Allen in 14th. We'll give our Sarah Guerra fans something to watch here quickly as Sarah and Felipe Sarkis are battling for 17th, and they are wheel to wheel, headed down Casino. This is Kevin Bonomi joined the fray as well.
Very tight off of there. It looked like Bonomi almost clipped his wing on the rear tire there, and that gives a great opportunity for Zach Flaum to take a look up the inside into turn 1.
So Getter comes out ahead. Flaum trying to stick a front wing out.
Very tight, and just gotta keep it off the wall there and regroup. It looked like Flaum just tried to tuck in there and wasn't anticipating, and here he goes wide. Again, just not quite anticipating Kevin Bonomi's braking points potentially. Just a little bit of time lost. Just gotta reel it back in as we get the official notice that pits are open this lap if you are making your official tire change.
Matt Schlosser, Jeff Lawler, Christian Jasper, all right there together as Schlosser is off into the grass. I think was trying to stay left to come down pit road, but ran it wide into the grass. And does not come down the pits. Will cut through the shortcut runoff there through the bollards. Very, very interesting. Well, now it is Titus Sherlock who's going to be under fire here from Joao de Gregorio for second. As I think Matt Schlosser has now jumped to the pits after that little incident there. And Zach Flaum has just gone to the pits as well after his off track. And not only is De Gregorio pressuring Titus Sherlock, but Michael Costello is caught back up here as well. So this is your top 4, all within about 1.8 seconds of each other. Oh, as Justin Knoll is Austin Powers across the straightaway here. This is very finicky.
Oh, and Joao straight into the pits. Saw a nice little lunge coming from Costello, and he's straight out there and going to get some clear air.
I mean, I've had different thoughts about the overcut and the undercut. Seemingly depends track to track. Which one did you prefer more in your time in the Formula Super Series?
To me, it was all situation dependent. Obviously there are some tracks where the tires are going off or not going off. but most of all, you're just looking for clear air or someone to kind of catch toe off of that's relative in pace to you. So I mean, for Joao here, it makes a lot of sense if he's going to be put under pressure, and as we talked about, being side by side at this track loses you bunches and bunches of time if you go corner after corner. So it'll be interesting to see if he can kind of capitalize on this strategy play, and if the front three will battle at all at this point, kind of give the opportunity to him to make some of that back up.
Well, Di Gregorio's found himself a nice little pocket here. Comes out ahead of your top am, Zachary Smith, running into 10th position, and he's got about 3 seconds up the road to Christian Jasper.
Yeah, I'd say he's in position here. It looked like Costello might have had a little bit of a hiccup. He's kind of given a bit more of a gap to the top two after Joao came in the pits, so it'll be interesting to see where these guys play out. Lots of time, though. Obviously, you don't have to refuel these cars, so the strategy window is as open as can be, I'd call it.
No tankers from the top three this time. Other drivers cycling through here as well. As there's one ducking off, it's Christian Jasper, so he will get himself out of the battle with Lawler and Groff and company. And that will buy Joao another second up the road to Jeff Lawler. So still a decent little pocket to operate with. I mean, we talk about not shocking your tires into temperature here. Is that easier to do when you're halfway through the race, or does that make it harder to do, to come out of your rhythm that you're already in and not shock the tires?
I would say if you're in the position that we just saw with Joao, where you have to kind of make a unsuspecting bomb mission into the pits at the last minute to avoid a racing situation, it might be a little bit more difficult to get yourself in that mindset. But if you're ready and prepared, I would say it's not extremely difficult. You just have to be extremely mindful of the rear tires in this car. Just difficult to get the fronts up to temp, and just that little bit too much front inputs on the wheel, and next thing you know, you're sliding the rears, and that just gets the whole train going down the hill, if you know what I mean. So I wouldn't say it's a matter of shocking the tires. You just got to bring them into temperature at a reasonable pace. That's for sure.
We're about to find out where Joao is going to stack up here, because 3 of the top 5 are down pit road. Titus Sherlock, Michael Costello, Jeremy Carter, Jeff Lawler also in. That leaves Tanner DeFabis and Kostik Solwij right now out on the track still.
Ooh, and nice little battle off. I mean, Joao made up a bunch of spots, and Costello's going to be on cold tires here. Wow, almost contact.
That was very nip and tuck there. Costello fighting hard on the cold tires. He's nearly into the grass, and he's around. He will take the front wing as collateral for Joao Di Gregorio, who is going to be in a world of trouble now, as he had already come out behind Titus Sherlock, and the battle he was looking to avoid by the early pit stop has cost him dearly here at Montreal.
And that's just an absolute bummer. I mean, he had the strategy set up very well, and as we mentioned, not shocking your tires, that's a prime example of it right there. Just a little bit too eager on the throttle, and a little bit of overcorrection from a defensive line in that corner, and dad's your uncle, as they say.
Costello was absolutely getting his elbows out there to try and keep this position, but I mean, no temperature in these tires whatsoever. Wheel to wheel with Di Gregorio, has been out there for 2 or 3 laps, dropping the left sides into the grass there, and that thing came straight around on him after he straightened that wheel out. And, Matt Short is right. Not only the implications of this race, but championship implications as well, as Di Gregorio is back down pit road. And man, he was seemingly on rails here, and that is truly, not to borrow the phrase, but a bummer for sure. Let's back this up and take a look at it from Joao's vantage point. You already saw a slap of oversteer there from Di Gregorio. And just straight on the throttle, that thing came right around and landed right in Di Gregorio's lap.
I hate to interrupt, but Titus Sherlock just actually had a spin on track.
Wow.
Looks like on his outlap.
So Sherlock with some time loss there. We did mark it. We'll take a look at it. And again, I think he'd already been out there on the track for a lap, but he actually made some contact with the barrier there. That thing just came out straight from underneath of him. Kostic and Jeff Groff now down pit road.
Yeah, and just falling behind the chicanes. That'll do it. And as we talked about, just a little bit too much input, a little bit too much throttle. It will be interesting to see as Kostic comes out of the pits here. If he can, hopefully he's not our next culprit on the cold tires. It's just seemingly extremely difficult with potentially lack of sunshine or lower track temp to get these things in the window.
Well, it's very interesting. Even in these grody looking conditions, the track temperature, at least to my eyes, has picked up. At least from where it was in the sprint by about 5 degrees. I'm not sure exactly where we started this race at, but it was at 92 Fahrenheit. Now it's up to 97. And regardless, I mean, these drivers are just pushing hard. I don't think there's any two ways about that one. So everybody having problems. Does that make it even out? The one driver that has not had a problem yet is Tanner DeFabis, who has yet to make his pit stop, still leading this race, as problems have befallen the 3 drivers that he was riding around with before the pit cycle started.
And Nate Siefer coming into the fight too as well here. I think maybe working out the overcut here may pay dividends as the track in front of him is cleared out with everybody coming in the pits.
And Matt Short says it's the vortex theory. I don't know if this track is ovular enough for vortex theory to work.
You know, based on the general assumptions of vortex theory, I don't think ovular comes into the vocabulary of factors. So just race car and running and rain, basically.
Fair enough. Sarah Gator is down pit road, and now Tanner DeFabis will come down pit road from the lead as well. Your top AM currently still Zachary Smith, and I do believe he is yet to pit here as well. New leader is Nate Siefker. And with a spin for Sherlock on the outlap, we'll see where DeFabis will come out relative to Sherlock. Still showing a fairly large gap here as DeFabis is out. Problem for Christian Jasper, slow, trying to get back up to pace. I'm showing a 14.5-second gap right now from DeFabis back to Titus Sherlock. So that is massive.
Yeah, that's pretty mega. I think when we talked about insurmountable prior to this, that might be in the category. I think it's going to be Kostic that's going to have the main opportunity here as Tanner warms his tires up.
So Kostic is about 6 seconds behind. That gap is continuing to shrink. As Nate Siefker leading right now by about 9.5 seconds. But looking behind Siefker, what is the number that he's going to lose here as he comes down pit road on a 4-tire pit stop here?
Would say probably in just over 20 seconds you're looking at. Should put him somewhere back in the realm between near enough to Titus and Zachary Smith, roughly.
So we'll still be looking at a top 5 here. He's had a windfall of success on Wednesday nights with the ASRL Sports Car Championship. Currently leading the silver division there. Multi-time feature winner. That is a quick stop for him, and that will put him out ahead of Titus Sherlock and on provisional podium. But Sherlock, tires already up to temperature. Siefker will have to try and match that while keeping Sherlock behind him here with 15 minutes left to go. I'd say DeFabus's tires are up to temperature. He's started to open that gap back to Caustic Solwage up once again. It's about 7.5 seconds as Sherlock lurking behind Siefker, looking to take provisional bronze back. And a lunge to driver's right, and Titus Sherlock has the spot.
Yeah, nothing really Nate can do. I mean, if he has the overtake saved up, he might be able to make a nice little run back at him and just try to stay in the draft here. But with the tires and the situation that he's in, I think that was his only option really to avoid any sort of major issues or time loss.
So for Siefker, he's got about 2 seconds back to Zachary Smith, but Smith, one of just a couple of drivers left to make their pit stop. Dakota DeMade running in P6 hasn't made his stop. And looks as if Nick Goyette in the AM division has not made his stop either. So that those are our final holdouts here for the evening. But for Smith right now, riding as the top AM. If you look down the lineup, back to Cody Claiborne. Smith right now about 25 seconds ahead. And it took Siefker just about 20 on the button, maybe 21, to get his service done. So Smith will be awfully close to Cody Claiborne here, but should come out ahead if things stay the way that they are. That is not always a guarantee as we check in on Joao Gregorio, running back in 13th. Came into tonight as the points leader. Wild swing at Portland. Saw him go from 3rd to 1st and absolutely balloon up his lead. But that lead, even with a 2nd place in the sprint earlier, is in serious jeopardy, to say the least.
Yeah, and as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, just extremely difficult to maintain point standings. There's just so much. I wouldn't call it. It's probably in the realm of controlled chaos with the Formula Super Series, but just so much can happen in any one race, and especially in the feature, as we've seen with the pit window and tire warm up. You just have to be absolutely perfect to be able to maximize points on any given night. For Joao, it's damage control, and as you said, with Portland, you win some, and obviously tonight you may end up losing some, but to salvage the points from the sprint and try and maximize what he can right now is critical for championship spots.
Sarah Guerra going on defense, putting Justin Knoll away with Sebring Stoll. Knoll and Stoll. Now Justin is trying to catch back up to Sarah and have a look at least. But these three battling for 17th, 18th, and 19th as they run with 11.5 to go. Jeff Groff and Jeremy Carter drawing nearer together. Joao Gregorio is making a move right now on Cody Claiborne to try and take 12th away. Claiborne, I think, just a skosh of contact with the barrier. That will allow De Gregorio to muscle on through. Back up the road now to Groff and Carter. Down Casino. Felipe Sarkis will make his pit stop. So that will promote Carter and Groff each up one spot. Carter now up to 8th. Go back to Guerra and Knoll and Stoll. Guerra came in as the points leader for the AM division. And he's going to lose 2 spots there. Down Casino straight. So move Sarah back to 19th. Knoll up to 17th. Stoll up to 18th. Gap for the lead is coming down very, very quickly. 2.5 seconds. Caustic is on the move. Turned the purple lap last time by. His problems for Nate Siefker. He is around out of the final turn.
That's a bummer. That is too bad. It looks like he might have just cut too much curb there for the final chicane.
We'll take a look at it quickly here on the roll bar cam. Oh, certainly. That's a lot of curb. Came out from underneath of him. He's only back to 6 with Dakota DeMaine in front of him, still yet to make a pit stop. I do believe, anyway.
I was about to say, we're getting close to the end of that window, and it'll be interesting to see when Zachary Smith and Dakota DeMaine make their pit stops and pay us the tire tax as they get their tires back up to temperature.
And I will say his gap back to Cody Claiborne is shrinking currently. It's now down to 23 seconds, so it's going to be awfully tight, even though Zachary will have the much fresher tires. Back to the front, though. Purple lap for Kostic last time by. I mean, he was 1.2 seconds quicker than Tanner DeFavis. But can he keep that pace up? What tools is he using to get that kind of advantage? As, again, last time by, another half a second out of the lead, down to 1.5.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's on the overtake all that much, so this just might be pure speed alone, and he might have the opportunity here at the end of the race to put something together.
I don't know. He might have something to be able to put together in the next couple of laps. I mean, he continues to just chunk and chunk and chunk into this lead. It's down to 1.1 seconds. I mean, he is here. Red dot in the mirror getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, this is quite impressive. I mean, he's had 3 back-to-back-to-back. Oh, sorry. Pardon me. Now it's up to 6 back-to-back-to-back laps, all in the 19s, 1 minute 19s, which is absolutely flying in a Super Formula car around this circuit.
.6 of a second. Kostic Solwij is flying. Another
and his fastest
lap.
one.
Oh my goodness, 1:19.05. That is ridiculous. And he has got DeFavis firmly in his crosshairs. I mean, this gap was something like 6 seconds when Kostic got his tires up to temperature. And he's here inside of a car length.
Yeah, this is mighty impressive. It's interesting. Maybe Tanner was a little bit too hard on those rears, as we mentioned, or something might have happened to him. But either way, Kostic has had massive pace these past 7 or 8 laps.
Lap traffic ahead. Very well may play into it as he slides the rears there.
Both on the overtake here coming down to the chicane. I think they're both seeing a little bit of opportunity for Tanner to shut down any sort of gap into this corner, and for Kostic take his first lick at it, see if he can make a move or at least open up a little bit of a gap. Nothing doing so far though as they head down into turn 1.
No pressure from behind. They're 11 seconds clear on side of Sherlock. So these two are set to do battle for the win here inside of 6 minutes to go. Kostic from way downtown. Scraping the wall with the right rear. DeFavis with no choice but to pick up the pace here. Car ahead, I believe, is Sarah.
DeFavis still on the overtake. It'll be, I mean, now we're in the position where he's going to have himself extra vulnerable coming down to the end here.
Gator moving over to the right side of the track.
And oh my goodness, he's got the red light already. That's under 20 seconds.
Kostic smelling blood in the water. How we go? Not quite close enough.
Ooh.
Good run out of the corner, though.
It's a little bit compromised from Tanner coming out of there. Even on our end, maybe a potential little bit of a... Oh, and there's a car that spun around there.
Sebring stole, and that will collect Sergera behind as those two make contact.
Yeah, and for Caustic here, now he's got the overtake button primed and ready to go. No more cooldown. I think the move's coming in the next few corners here.
A lot of curb there. Cost him some speed on exit, but he's still well within striking distance. So closes right back up. And he put that front wing underneath the gearbox, Cam.
Best he can do. Now he's on the button. This should be a full-blown battle coming into this braking zone here.
3.5 minutes to go. The time is now. Caustic Solwij looking for
Tanner
the move.
absolutely sends it.
Still good drive off, though. Caustic backed it up just enough. Into center.
Oh, right off that curb.
Oh, contact!
Oh!
As Caustic tried to tuck in behind. A little bend on that front wing now.
And just full commitment from Tanner through that entire sequence, through the end of the third sector and into the first.
Happy they both get to stay on the road and continue to duke it out here to battle for the win in the Gemini Grand Prix of Canada. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, never one to disappoint. DeFabis having to get his elbows out here, looking for what could very well be a first victory in a feature here in the GoSquadra Formula Super Series. It would be the same for Caustic. Wheel to wheel.
Now's the time for Caustic. He's got the red light as well.
A little hung up there.
It's got to be now or never into the chicane.
He'll have a look, but will he have the lead?
Ooh, he almost has him clear going into the chicane here. Oh!
DeFabis locking it up just about to keep it out of the back of your new race leader, Caustic Solwij.
Back down the inside.
Oh, that
Let's
is
see.
a
Oh,
bold
runs him all the way to the
move.
grass.
Tucks it right in to the rumble strips
Oh,
there on the right side.
Now there's definitely a little bit of bend to that front wing for Caustic. He just tried to get a little bit of track position back on Tanner going into turn 2 there, and it might have just nicked the inside left of that front wing end plate up.
Zachary Smith, Dakota DeMay, both down pit road here on the final lap that they're eligible to make their tire change. So we'll see where that puts Zachary Smith in relation to Cody Claiborne.
He's all over the overtake, coming out of the hairpin right now. Smith out of the pits at this moment in time now. So plenty of space.
So Smith still in position to be the top AM of the feature for the second time this season. We'll have to bring it home on the cold tires.
No more overtake for our leaders.
Is the draft powerful enough down some of these long straightaways for Caustic to rally himself back into the fight? This is the final lap here at the We Are Gemini Grand Prix of Canada. Two drivers looking for their first ever GoSquadra Formula Super Series feature victory. Tanner DeFabis leading, Caustic Solwij in second, giving chase and giving DeFabis all that he could handle up to this point. But DeFabis now 0.7 of a second back out front. Joao De Gregorio is making a move on Jeremy Carter for 7th. It's a great rally for De Gregorio, but he is going to be sorely disappointed with how this one is turned out. Caustic needs to be closer to have a shot. Half a second.
Oh, he's on the tires.
Oh. The ball is in Tanner DeFabis' court now as the clocks have struck 0.
He's got to keep it clean off the curbs in the last chicane here, and he should have this one wrapped up.
Tanner DeFabis with brilliant defensive driving here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. The We Are Gemini Grand Prix of Canada belongs to Tanner DeFabis in car number 9, his first feature victory of the GoSquadra Formula Super Series. Caustic Solwage in second. And Titus Sherlock will round out the podium. Half a lap behind them, Zachary Smith well in control of the race for the 4D Racewear Top Am of the feature for round number 4 of the season. With just a couple more corners to navigate. And he is through the final 2 turns. Well navigated, well executed for Zachary Smith. Second time this season, he is the 4D Racewear Top Am of the night. But Tanner DeFabis picked up the sprint victory at Portland. And he has followed it up quite quickly with the feature victory.
Yeah, that was just impressive. I mean, he had a couple laps there where he was completely vulnerable with no overtake to Caustic, and just immense defensive driving, as we mentioned, into turn 1, to hold it around the outside there and get to turn 2, and then obviously to shut the door there, coming to the last lap was just mighty. I mean, what a scrap between these two.
So DeFabis will park it at the line. That's Titus Sherlock. Showing off the drift skills there. Yeah, I echo the sentiments of Jeff Mathis in the chat. Hell of a race here tonight. CGV did not disappoint here in Montreal, that is for sure. Quick round of burnouts for Tanner DeFabis. And on a hazy afternoon here on the man-made island in Montreal, this is how we will send him off for the full finishing result rundown here after the sprint race here this evening. And of course, I gotta go press the extra button. Always have to do that. There we go. Tanner DeFabis the win. Caustic Solwage in second. It is Titus Sherlock in third. We'll talk to these 3 guys in just a moment. Fourth for Nate Seifgert after his late race issues. Still brings it home in the top 5. Jeff Groff into the top 5 as well. Nice run for him. Jeff Lawler in sixth after a rough start to his night. He goes plus 19 to go be the hard charger here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Joao de Gregorio will be awfully disappointed. Was on for a podium, if not for a win, and will have to settle for 7th. Jeremy Carter, Zachary Smith, the 40 Racewear Top Am in 9th. We'll talk to him here in just a second. It is Christian Jasper to round out the top 10. 11th for Dakota Domain, Kevin Bonomi in 12th. It is Cody Claiborne in the 13th position. 14th for Kyle Allen, Justin Knoll will round out the top 15. It is 16th for Felipe Sarkis, 17th for Nick Goyette, Sarah Guerra, Peter Donchik, and Sebron Stoll. The rest of the top 20, Michael Costello in 21st after his run-in with Joao de Gregorio. 22nd for Zach Flam, 23rd for Matt Schlosser, Thiago Spencer, and Tristan Moss tangling together on lap number 6. Will be 24th and 25th, and Drew Such in 26th, the last driver to take the green flag here. I do believe, actually, Tommy Reval and Brian LaBarge and Matt Mitchum with problems to start off this feature race as well. And no Griffin Yellen or Hector Hernandez in the finishing order here tonight. So we will go in search now. First for your top am of the night for the second time this season, it is Zachary Smith joining us here in booth 200. Welcome back to the booth, and congrats on top am honors here this evening.
I think it's just amazing. Good to be back here. last week was not my most favorable race. I had a lot of pace around Portland, but I just wasn't able to execute it. So it's quite awesome to be able to come here, and with the limited practice I have done, being able to pull such a good performance out.
I mean, certainly a top 10 performance here tonight, and not only that, you had to finish this race on relatively cold tires. I mean, you talk about the overcut. That was right down to the wire.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I was in a call with Tanner and Titus. There was a couple others, but a lot of them crashed out. And so what it really came down to is we were just trying to work out what the pit delta actually was. Obviously, I saw the gap behind me. I had Cody Claiborne roughly in the pit window, and he hadn't pitted yet. So I wanted to make sure that I overcutted Cody and was able to make the most of my pace without being in the traffic.
Gavin, what you got?
Yeah, and just touching on traffic as well. Obviously, slotting into a window was super important, but coming out at the end there, did you find that once everyone peeled off, you were able to just maximize your pace and make sure that you were able to keep that pit delta steady, or was that not something in your mind?
I mean, throughout the race, I made a couple mistakes just trying to make sure and actually focus on that as well as my race. I think when it came down to it, I made sure to use my overtake button before I got in the gold tires because that was going to be the best way to maximize the grip and the potential of the car, obviously on low fuel as well. Yeah, but I mean, it's been so difficult during the sprint race. I obviously had a bit of a spin there. It was quite unfortunate. Just couldn't quite get my overtake in right, and I used it at the wrong time. Ended up cutting a curb and paid the price for it. But this is a good redemption, I think, for that.
Well, great stuff from you here tonight. Congrats on taking the top AM honors once again, and we'll let you get some shout-outs in before we let you go.
Yeah, a shout out to myself actually, because this week I've managed to clarify that I'm from New Zealand and not Australia. I hope you guys have noticed that. I couldn't let you guys badmouth me for the however many week in a row, and it's good to be able to come in here and set the story straight.
Okay, we will take note of that for sure. Sorry if we've said that in the past, but yes.
No, it's yeah. In terms of shoutouts, though, I've just started uploading to YouTube. That is Ruse Racing on YouTube. I actually documented the practice for Portland. I was able to compare what 10 minutes and 10 hours of practice felt like, and that was amazing. So shout out to them, and also shout out to Tanner and Titus, who were able to coach me through having such a good result there.
Well, awesome stuff from you here tonight. Congratulations. We'll hope to talk to you again next week at Road America.
Yep, see you boys next week.
Alrighty, we will move up on the interview train now to the driver who will take the bronze here this evening, the reigning series champion Titus Sherlock on the podium at the end of the night here. Congratulations on the podium here after a tricky, challenging race at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
Yeah, certainly a bit tricky. Didn't really get any practice because I've been away, so it was just kind of learning as we went, and unfortunately that bit me by spinning in the feature on the right after the pit stop. So it's 2 weekends in a row now that I've thrown away a chance at winning the feature because of a spin after a pit stop, but it is what it is, and congrats to Tanner as well for a great race. So it was fun, and I'm looking forward to the next one. I
mean, these cars are already tricky enough, but especially on cold tires, that having to make a pit stop throws you off your rhythm there. I mean, it's easy to come by a mistake like that, I would imagine.
Yeah, this car is really tricky on power down, and I had already done my full out lap, so I kind of thought I could lean on it a bit more, and unfortunately I could not. But yeah, at the end of the race, it seemed like I was catching the leaders quite quickly, so I think I could have had a good shot at winning. But yeah, threw it away once again. So, but I still managed the third, so it could have been worse. I did graze the wall, but I didn't have any damage, so got away with it luckily.
Gavin, what you got?
Yeah, and obviously leading up to that pit stop, it was interesting to see kind of as the gaps fluctuated. Were you using much of your overtake prior to the pit stop? Or were you planning on kind of dumping the entire button towards the end of the race there?
Yeah, I was mostly saving it. I used it a couple times, but yeah, mostly saving it for later in the race as we usually do. Just try not to battle with Tanner too much. We kind of swapped positions when it made sense to not lose any time together because there were some quick cars. Zhao was really fast, and so was Caustic. So we were just trying to work together. And yeah, then we ended up splitting strategies a bit to try kind of two different things and see what worked. So yeah, I pretty much mainly burned it towards the second half of the race.
Well, looking ahead to next week, it's a track that you had great success at last season, secured your championship there in Road America, but it's a little bit different since it's a 60-minute straight-up race next week. Does that change how you prepare at all?
Not too much really. I'm looking forward to that actually. I think I'm not a big fan of the reverse grid for the feature, so I'm happy that we can just kind of get racing as we should, and yeah, it should be fun. I think I'm typically better at the end of races anyway, so it might play into my strength.
Well, we'll look forward to next week, and thank you for the time here tonight. Let's get some shout-outs in before I let you go.
Yeah, the entire Eclipse team as always. Tanner getting the main win, and Zach for getting the AM win. So good night for the team as well, and all of our partners on the car. ProGuard, Mosaic, Destination Athlete, everyone else on there. Thank you.
All right, partner. We'll hope to talk to you again next week at Road America.
Appreciate it.
All right, well, this is the one moment of the night that I've been dreading because we've been calling out this guy's name all season long. Now we get to find out if I've been saying his name correctly. Caustic is here. Last name, Solwish?
Sołowy.
Maybe not.
Sołowy. Yeah.
Okay.
Polish one.
Yeah, well, I'll work on that. But regardless, congratulations on the great run here tonight. And man, you've been really fast these last few weeks, and you gave Tanner everything that he could handle here.
Yeah, I gave him so much that he had to push me over into like lap 28 out of the last chicane. So the race will finish, I guess, in the reports. And that's sad, but yeah.
I mean, talk about having to, try and battle there late. I mean, you had run Tanner down from, almost 7 seconds. I mean, you were on quite the clip there on your way to the front of the field.
Yeah, I mean, it was a surprisingly quick race from my side in the last part of it, in the most important part of it. I was very happy from it, but the strategy, like the overtake button that I saved and everything worked out, but yeah, I'm just maybe too salty about the thing because he gained out of it lap like 28, end of lap 28. He pushed me off the chicane, causing me to basically lose on the exit, and he had a run into turn 1. And into turn 1, he didn't leave me the space, so yeah. The race sadly will finish in the reports, something that I don't like, because I was thinking that like it will be kind of clear after seeing what Di Giorgio done over and over the weekends. What this guy is doing is insane, by the way, but it's not about him. I was thinking, about some clean racing with the Eclipse, and it didn't work out for me, I guess, sadly.
Well, Gavin, what you got here for Caustic?
Yeah, that's obviously a tough situation. Looking forward to Road America. Do you feel comfortable, confident in that track? And obviously we have a 60-minute feature as well, so qualifying will be a little bit more important with no reverse grid. What are you looking forward to, and how do you think you're going to end up? Obviously on a bit of a heater here, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm going to end up first or colliding with Di Giorgio. Only two things, nothing in between.
Well,
I feel comfortable in the track also, but it doesn't matter.
I mean, you've certainly had great pace here these last few weeks. I mean, you've certainly got to feel like a win is coming your way soon. That's certainly our belief here in the booth as well. I mean, you've had outstanding pace here in the last few weeks.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, let's get some shout-outs in from you here tonight. It's great to have you in the booth, but anybody you want to thank or say hi to?
Shout out how Di Giorgio on Heat 1. He made a great train and everybody crashed. Thank you for that one. A lot of points for me.
All righty. Well, thank you for the time here tonight. We'll hope to talk to you again next week at Road America.
Yeah, see ya.
Damn.
Well, welcome in, Tanner DeFavis off of that one. Man, finally up here as a winner in the GoSquadra Formula Super Series in the feature proper. Just a couple weeks removed from the big sprint win as well. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks very much. It's finally nice to get the feature win after what happened in Portland. But yeah, it was a good race.
Certainly so. You had to get your elbows out there and play defense there in the final couple laps. I mean, that was some intense racing, but pretty well managed, all things considered. Everybody on the overtank and whatnots, and pretty well defended.
Yeah, Kostek definitely gave me a run for my money. He was really, really fast. After the pit cycle, he was about 4 seconds behind, and he was able to catch up to me towards the last couple of laps of the race, and he got ahead of me. And he had a lot more overtake and push to pass than me, so I just had to use mine as defensive, and then eventually I just ran out. So we swapped positions, and yeah, I thought I had a pretty good move, honestly. Didn't really make any contact with him, and yeah, it felt pretty clean. Didn't race him any different to anyone else. So, good win.
Gavin, what you got for the race winner?
Yeah, nothing much. Obviously, looking forward to next week as well. But congratulations, and just well managed with the strategy and defending. I definitely will say, just making sure he had a lot of button there, and there was a couple laps that you looked pretty vulnerable. So extremely well done. And for Road America, obviously a track that I'm sure you frequent relatively often. Looking forward to the different formats, and or just in general, looking forward to what would be a familiar circuit for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to Road America. It's a great track. Was very fortunate to actually race there in real life, and it's just awesome. It's an amazing place. I'm sorry. If you guys heard my dad yelling at the Pacers game, I'm sorry. I'd probably be there yelling with him. I'd be there yelling with him, but yeah, I'm very excited for that. Just good racing at the end, I thought. So yeah.
Well, we'll let you get to the Pacers game, but before we do, let's get some shout-outs in for you.
Yeah, shout out to Eclipse. Shout out to Titus, got on the podium with me. Shout out to Zach for the Pro-Am win. Shout out to all of our sponsors, Destination Athlete, EDA, EWIS, Mosaic, ProGuard, and Eclipse Competition, the whole team.
Alrighty, partner.
Go
ahead.
Shout out to our painter. We don't ever shout him out. Sam McDougal. Makes a great livery, I think. So, yeah, that's it.
All right, we'll go celebrate this one, and hopefully go celebrate a Pacers win as well, and we'll talk to you again here hopefully next week.
Yeah, see you guys next week.
And, you came in for a good one here tonight, Gavin. Thank you for joining us. But, great racing, a little spicy there. In our post-race interviews. That'll happen from time to time. I don't know what it is. I don't know why we raided the Spice Cabinet in the Formula Super Series, but we've had that from time to time here. But regardless, man, what a great night of racing here.
Yeah, I think it was pretty impressive, all things considered. Not too much chaos, just the right amount of chaos, I would say, to keep it interesting. A couple of obviously airborne crashes, but most of all, it was a pretty dynamic race. Lots of good strategy, and no weather yet, so we'll keep our eyes peeled for later on for sure.
Absolutely. We'll look forward to that next week. This is what we got coming up here in the next 7 days for you here on the channel. Of course, Venom Truck Series is off, so it'll be the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosport Wednesday night. Willow Springs, Big Willow, will kick off at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Thursday night, it is the Chase midpoint for the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series from Richmond Raceway. Catch us at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time for that one. If you're so inclined and have the opportunity to, catch me on Dirt Vision Friday night at Jacksonville Speedway about 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be racing some sprint cars on the bull ring. That will loop us right back around to the GoSquadra Formula Super Series next Monday night. It is the 60-minute endurance race, first of 2 on the season at Road America up at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Always a banger every single time. We'll see you again at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time for that one. Thank you to everybody that was hanging out with us here tonight. Matt Short, of course, Biome, 06 champ is Jeff Mathis. Thanks to Garrett Rainey for hanging out with us as well. don't think I missed anybody, but if you were hanging out with us here tonight and didn't drop us a chat, thank you for watching. As always, greatly appreciated. And, we thank all of our partners here at the GoSquadra Formula Super Series as well. Thank you to tonight's race sponsor, Gemini. At Gemini, thriving to help your business grow, offering 10-plus years of experience working in the AEC business in the United States, assisting architecture studios with production and development of BIM standards, 3D models, and documentation. They are a team of resourceful, reliable, and detail-oriented architects ready to work side by side with you as if they were an in-house production. Entrust production to them, either partially or totally. Give your full attention to designing, developing ideas, and most importantly, keeping your clients happy. Visit wearegemini.com. And thank you to 40 Racewear, the makers of the ultimate sim racing shoe and custom apparel designed by sim racers for sim racing. 40 sim racing shoes, custom engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way that no other racing shoe can, and still provide all the comfort needed for those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the original racing gloves for your feet. And thank you to GoSquadra, the title sponsor of the GoSquadra Formula Super Series. Their mission is to enhance race team management across all sim racing platforms. GoSquadra, connecting drivers with teams, manage racing events, creating and editing stint schedules, enabling easy stint adjustments on the fly during a live race, and so much more. Visit GoSquadra.com. Thank you to the admin team here tonight, as always, and they'll have their work cut out for them after a busy night here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. That is all we got for you here tonight. On behalf of Mr. Gavin Sanders, I'm Tommy Cook saying until we meet again, so long from Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, where Tanner DeFabis is on the top step here tonight in Montreal. Have a good night, everybody. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.